The boy never imagined that just coming home at 7 p.m. would earn him a harsh slap from his father. His father even demanded a sincere apology. It turned out the neighbor had come to complain that her son had been beaten to a pulp. But his father would never realize how wrong it was to judge based only on what he heard without giving the boy a chance to explain. The boy did not get angry at this, but instead shot back with sarcasm. He had seen the neighbor's kid bullying others, so he gave him a proper lesson. Who would have thought that upholding the family's sense of justice would turn out to be the wrong decision?
The next time I see 3 kids ganging up on someone who won't fight back, I'll simply ignore it. In fact, I'll even jump in myself and make it 4 against 1. I'll be sure to let everyone know that that's the Gray Rat family way. But once I grow up and leave home, I'll never use the Gray Rat name again. I'll be too ashamed to belong to a family that ignores violence and accepts verbal abuse.
Sure enough, the clear thinking of a transmigrator made his father realize he had made a mistake. He immediately apologized to his son and humbled himself to listen to what actually happened. It turned out that when Rudy went out for a walk at noon, he suddenly heard a commotion. So he secretly took a peek, thinking it would be children playing around. But instead, he witnessed a bullying scene. Several boys were throwing mud at a child in white clothes who did not dare fight back and could only curl up and endure it. But this was not the worst part. The chubby kid actually picked up a stone and was about to throw it at the victim. Seeing this scene, Rudy stopped watching and ran out directly. He formed a water bullet and hurled it hard at the chubby kid. This prevented a tragedy from happening, but they still had not realized their mistake and even turned against him. Facing the flying mud, Rudy used crab-like movements to dodge all the attacks and even counterattack. After driving away, the ringleader Rudy quickly went to the bullied child's side. Just as he was about to comfort the child, he noticed the kid's body was trembling, seemingly frightened by what had just happened. But this could not hide the child's delicate appearance. If this were a girl, she would definitely be very likable. Too bad it was a boy. However, he did not know that judging by short hair alone was unreliable. Then, fearing the child felt uncomfortable being dirty, he formed a hot water ball and helped clean the child's hair. As for the dirty clothes, they would have to be washed at home. But just after solving this problem, he witnessed something terrifying. The child's hair was green, which made Rudy somewhat afraid, because his teacher had once warned him that such people were dangerous. Seeing this, Rudy tremblingly looked at the child's forehead. Finding no decorations there, his worries finally settled down. He then used wind magic to dry the child's hair. At the same time, he reminded the child to fight back bravely when being bullied. But the child felt very inferior because of their unusual appearance. Hearing this, Rudy realized that perhaps because of the elf-like appearance, the child was mistaken for a demon, therefore having no friends to play with. So he kindly offered to let the child play with him from now on. Sure enough, the child became happy to finally have a friend willing to befriend them. Seeing the child's reaction, Rudy also felt cheerful. It seemed he did not have many friends either. Perhaps this buddy would grow up with him, but he would never expect that his preconceived notions were about to cause a huge misunderstanding. The next day, Rudy ignored his guilt-ridden father and went directly to the place he had agreed to meet the child. Fearing the child would be bullied again, Rudy taught the child how to use magic. He thought the child had average talent, but unexpectedly they could quickly cast ice magic. Perhaps because of their elf bloodline, they had high magical affinity. But regarding ice magic, she did not seem to like it much. She only wanted to know how to produce hot water, probably because she found it convenient for washing. Seeing this, Rudy did not hold back and demonstrated right away, using fire magic to heat water magic, easily achieving the desired effect. But the child noticed something strange. It seemed Rudy did not chant incantations. So how did he accomplish this? Regarding such methods, Rudy really did not know how to teach, because he released magic by feeling, but he still shared some experience. Just visualize in your mind, then release. He thought it would be very difficult for the child to master. After all, none of the people he knew had ever succeeded. However, unexpectedly, although this person did not have his level of talent, after trying for more than 10 hours, they actually managed to release magic. This result immediately made the child happy. Then they danced around and ran off. Seeing this, Rudy quickly chased after them, afraid this person would cause trouble again. But just when things had finally calmed down, they encountered heavy rain. Rudy could only bring the child home. Now they really needed a good hot bath. Otherwise, they would really catch cold. But Rudy did not expect that when he suggested bathing together, he would meet resistance. They were both boys, so what was there to refuse?
Unless I do that.
However, after learning the truth, Rudy almost became depressed, because the child was actually a girl. He had completely failed to notice before. For such reckless behavior, Rudy felt deep regret, and did not know how to face her. Seeing this, his father counseled him that a man must take responsibility for his mistakes. So Rudy apologized to Sylphie, but he did not receive Sylphie's forgiveness, only because he was too much of a straight man. This incident also became Rudy's worry, so he sought his father's help again. Perhaps this could resolve the knot in their hearts. So Rudy followed his father's advice and actively approached Sylphie, speaking words of praise. This immediately brightened her mood. It turned out Sylphie was afraid that Rudy would ignore her. so she also felt sad. Now that things were cleared up, there was not so much burden. Seeing this, Rudy knew he had weathered the crisis. But regarding Sylphie, Rudy promised to protect her for life, not only because they were childhood friends, but also because he was a responsible transmigrator.